Today we're going to diagnose some issues with the compact. It's throwing mess airflow codes or the airflow monitor codes. So before just replacing a bunch of parts, we're going to go through and test everything, check everything, because there's no reason to spend money that I don't need to. We're going to start with testing the AFM for both resistance and voltage. Basically, those numbers should change as the flap opens and closes. On top of that, crank no start. It's not really that it's a crank no start. The thing will start up sometimes, and the only time that I can keep it running is by feathering the gas, right? So my idea is that I have a shit ton of vacuum leaks, number one. Number two, I think that my AFM might be bad, although these things rarely go bad, so I'm really not sure yet. Now, this car has just over 100,000 miles on it. It's very low mileage, and it's got a lot of potential. I keep on saying that, I can't stress it enough. I tried putting together a makeshift intake boot, but the problem is the idle control valve, this hose right here, it's supposed to be connected to the intake because as air comes in, the idle control valve adjusts itself so that it runs smoothly, I guess. Obviously, this is not the correct setup to have right now. So like I said, I'm gonna just pull this upper intake. Pretty easy, not a huge job. And I'm gonna just take a look at all the vacuum hoses, kind of see if there's anything obviously wrong, replace whatever is obviously wrong, and go from there. First thing I'm gonna do is remove this throttle body. So you've got a vacuum hose that goes down to some sort of a regulator. Pop this guy off, save everything without breaking it. But I mean, as you can see, that's cracked. All the vacuum hoses are in pretty bad condition on this car. I did replace the fuel pressure regulator hose, just thinking that that might help, but it didn't. Disconnect the throttle body potentiometer, I think it is. Get that off to the side. And then we've got 4 10mm bolts, 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom. Pop these loose. Pop these guys loose. It was already pretty loose. That could have been part of my vacuum leak problem. The last one down here is a little tricky. You just gotta use your eyeballs. Throttle body. Kick this off to the side here. Nothing concerning thus far. It's a little dirty, but that's, you know, pretty normal. Now these are metal gaskets, so realistically, I can reuse this. Just kind of flatten it all out. That gasket is very much still usable, so also kick that to the side. Now our idle control valve is right here. And this vacuum hose can be very, very problematic. I've seen a numerous amount of people talk about it, and I have replaced it on my drift car. Now, we've got some 11mm bolts. One's here, which is already loose. There's another one that's right here. I'll probably need a wrench for that one. And then you got bolt here, and then 2 nuts there and there. You just break this thing loose. I'm gonna remove this breather hose right now as well, just because I'll forget and then get pissed off because I forgot. So I'll just remove this now. It looks like it's in bad condition, but it's literally, it's like got this extra layer on the outside for whatever reason. God damn it. So on my drift car compact, all this bullshit was deleted. I need to go through and basically copy that, because this is all just extra as fuck. We don't need this. Anyways, got a bolt here. And you don't need to take that all the way off. Just get it loose, and then it'll slide off. This one. Sometimes it's nice to use a wrench versus a socket and ratchet, because you can feel the torque a little bit more. And especially on rustier cars, I've got a lot of PTSD from working in the Rust Belt, and you know, snapping bolts and stripping things happens very frequently. 11 mil. I am subject to basically just these tools for right now. I have nothing. It's actually so horribly terrible. I have no access to any of my tools, any of my BMW parts in storage. I am out here in Arizona with nothing but the tools that my father has in his arsenal, which, as a BMW enthusiast, I need a lot. Okay, I'll get this last guy off here. Now there's one other hose here, connects to the idle control valve. It's right here. Pop this off. Try to do it without breaking anything. Nice. Okay. We've also got the brake booster vacuum hose, and this should just pop right off with a little bit of convincing, hypothetically. I ended up just using a flathead to kind of pry it off. It worked pretty well, so got that freed up. With everything disconnected, the intake will come right off. Now it's very, very crucial to be careful, because this vacuum line here, it breaks very easily, and this is actually cracked as hell. So like I said, I need to go through literally all of the vacuum lines in this system. I mean, look at that. That's horrible. Oh. I'm not sure what's going on there, but that doesn't look very wonderful. Okay, so we got some vacuum lines to replace. The idle control valve hoses actually look pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. Curious as to what's going on here. I don't really like that. And what that is it's a breather from the valve cover. So hypothetically, oil can go from there to there and into here. I'll clean this stuff up, obviously, before putting it all back together. I'm gonna remove this idle control valve real quick, clean it, and then I'm gonna have to run to the parts store and pick up some vacuum hoses. Right now, what I'm gonna do is remove this idle control valve. Got one connector. Pop that baby off. That's interesting. That clamp is loose. Probably got air leaks there as well. I disconnect this hose from this piece, which goes to each of the injectors. You gotta be careful with it, because all this stuff is really, really sensitive. Hold that firm. Okay, so maybe I'll remove it from the idle control valve first and then pull it off of here. We'll just pop these two nipples on there. Pop these off. There's one. There's two. I'm gonna need a couple of towels. I don't want to get shit in there. go. Plug that up. Keep our engine safe. Okay. Try to get this air control valve off. It's really, the best method for this is just to kind of turn it as you're pulling it off. Keeps everything else pretty solid. So we have our idle air control valve hose that goes from the intake, the actual idle control valve, which this thing is dirty as hell. That's part of the problem there. Next, I need to remove all these guys here. And I think the best method for that is probably gonna be, you just gotta talk to these things really nicely and they usually help you out. Or sometimes you just gotta like swear at it. Depends on the situation. Depends on the situation. Sneak that off. Maybe. Here we go. Wiring is kind of protected under like plastic coverings, so it makes life a lot easier. That is cooked. I'm gonna have to get a vacuum in here and just kind of clean everything up. Oh, fuck. That's not good. Okay. Well, gonna need a new one of those. Okay, let's pull the rest of this apart. Okay. There isn't really a part number on this. I'm gonna go around and try to find a Z3 at a junkyard, the 1.8 Z3, because I think that if I do this the right way, I might be able to pull everything off of that. So, yeah. Got Ma Dukes coming in clutch yet again. We're gonna go to the junkyard, and I found there's two Z3s at this junkyard, and it's an M4x 1.9 liter, but the engines are similar enough where I should be able to get everything that I need. So, let's see how this goes. Here's the first Z3. And of course the intake boot's completely cooked. People just don't seem to care. But I'm gonna pull this intake and I'm gonna grab those little vacuum lines that run off of the injectors. And yeah. Okay, so we got injectors. This is the piece that I just broke. Got another one, that's great. But for now, all these guys are gonna come home with me. Well, looks like we got ourselves an intake boot. I don't see anything very concerning, so this is looking good, and it looks pretty low mileage too. Oh, it's a manual too. Whoa, hello. That's a pretty cool shift knob. Look at that. That's pretty sweet. So there's two Getrogs here. Oh, and that shifts. I'm coming back for both of those transmissions. 110%. Let's put this back so nobody knows it's a manual. Cover it all up. Nice. Nice. Okay. Let me pull this intake boot, a few other items. We'll be good to go. Okay, we got some goodies. Let's see if this shit works. Back from the junkyard with some goodies. The main thing that we needed was a new one of these pieces and the vacuum lines corresponding with it. So instead of buying new hoses, I was like, you know what, we'll just, I mean, these are all in really good shape, so I'm gonna use these. So, put you guys up here somewhere, because again, I don't have a fucking GoPro. So I'm stuck with my iPhone now. Try some profile action here. This one's kind of cracked. Fuck it. I don't really feel like changing anything. This has to sneak under here. It goes to this injector. Fucking slut, dude. This shit is so annoying. Oh my god. And just like, everything is just so annoying. You guys ever just have a day, you know? It's been a day, I'll tell you what. Why must you be difficult? Here's what we're gonna do. Okay, so this one, I'm gonna sneak right on that. Okay, this one. Pop it on here. My main goal right now is just to get this like running again. And then I can kind of go from there and like fix things or make changes. This one will pop right on here. And this one is gonna pop on there. Okay. So I'll get these hooks back up. Perchance. Maybe. That's loose. Okay, one more before the other one. Okay. It's all connected. So I fixed those two, replaced them with better ones, and got the idle control valve back in there. I'm gonna just reassemble this whole thing, because I'm just curious. I want to make sure that this is all going to be fine in terms of like the repair quality. And I just want to, like, I replaced this little vacuum line here. The rubber on that was super crusty wherever it is. I'm going to throw this back together real quick, see if anything has changed. Reassembly is just as easy as taking this thing apart. I do like how simple these engines are. The vacuum lines are the only thing that's not simple. So you kind of just get this back on. Like I said, I leave this bolt on because it's kind of a nice way to just like catch it where it needs to be. So that all goes on like that. This idle air control valve hose, you just kind of push it back on there like so. Our 11mm nuts and singular bolt. Okay. Make sure that's all tight, but not too tight because you don't want to strip anything. Our throttle body gasket. Throttle body itself. This is a new line. It's just a vacuum. It's like a fuel pressure hose. so it's not exactly correct, but fuck it, we ball. Plug this. I think that's the throttle potentiometer position sensor. Let me get this old intake boot here. Plug the idle control valve back in. If you're not swearing at your BMW at some point in time, you're doing something wrong. So, okay, here's this. I gotta get the clamp on there still, because I'm an idiot. I'm a fucking idiot, bruv. Okay. We'll just tighten this. That's tight. We got our idle control valve hooked back up. All the vacuum lines are good, hypothetically. We grab the intake box. Fuck ass intake box. This intake boot is from an M4x, okay? It's not supposed to be that long. I'm gonna just take off the top or the bottom half of this air box, hook it all back up, because I just want to make sure the thing runs. Just give me one moment. The final touch. This fuck ass AFM plugged back in. Nothing's too tight, too taut. Brake booster vacuum. And the breather, got that. It's nice when you take these things apart a few times, you can take care of like rebuilding the whole thing pretty quickly. So we're looking pretty good here. I am going to plug this back on. Okay, let's see what we got going here. Lord have mercy. Oh, it fired up almost immediately. No check engine light. Oh. Okay. It's okay, baby. So I'm thinking idle control valve might have some problems. So I'm not holding the throttle at all. Yeah, the idle control valve is having some trouble. The AFM seems to be working. Okay. It's definitely idling rough, and I think that's strictly from the idle control valve. But it's idling pretty smooth. Now that it's started to warm up, it is idling a lot smoother. pedal response is okay. It skips a little bit at first. But I mean, it's not throwing any check engine lights or anything. And if I'm really light on the pedal, just like feather it and slowly ease in, the RPMs seem to be okay. I do think this thing needs an idle control valve though. Nice. I think we're good, Mom.
Really?
It's called an idle control valve. It sits underneath there, but I mean, the thing seems to be running a lot better. I mean, I don't have any type of air filter connected right now. But I mean, it's running pretty smoothly at that. So is it running? Yes. However, we are not out of the woods yet, my friends. I'm gonna go ahead and close this and take it around the block real quick. The last time I tried taking it around the block, it didn't go very well. I almost got stranded. So yeah, see, we got a check engine light again. And then it goes away. It's definitely gonna be throwing codes for the math. Second gear. Third gear. Oh, check engine light again. Nope. Turn right around. This is exactly what happened last time. Come on, baby. Let's get you back. This is a good opportunity to teach you guys what stomp codes are, though. It's not actually like fully dying this time, so I guess that's good. So she does not like going into drive. Turn this off. Let's run some stomp codes. So, stomp codes are OBD1 BMW things. You gotta key on, stomp the gas pedal 5 times, and then it'll start flashing check engine lights. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that means it is initiated. So we got 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 2, 2. Let's see. 1. That's 2. 2, 2. Okay, so our only code is 1222. Let's take a look at what that might be. So the old Bimmer forums told me that code 1222 is going to be basically like the DME cannot control the lambda mixture. So the stoichiometric ratio is all messed up. And that can be caused by mostly a leaking intake boot, which I know for a fact that the one that I have does have a small crack in it, but I had a feeling it would still work okay, at least. I also don't have an air box in there. No air filter. It's just air going straight to the AFM, which can also throw that code. So what I need to do is, at this point, I'm just going to order an aftermarket intake boot. And I'm going to have to... What else? Aftermarket intake boot and an adapter for a different type of air filter, because I can't run that box, unfortunately. But we are making some good headway here. You know what I could try to do? Because I still have this cut intake box. Let's see if I can do something with this here. I'm trying to not spend any more money. I'm fucking poor. So is the life of a BMW enthusiast. So we got the cut intake box. At least it'll still have filtered air. Pop this trunk. Pop the hood. Okay. Let's see if this will fit. I think it might. Yeah, so I can't get it to fit, unfortunately. So I'm gonna leave this thing how it is for right now. Unplug this again and just leave it, let it clear its codes. For right now, she will sit. She's almost there though, little by little. Okay, we're back at the compact. I'm pulling the plugs right now. I got the bro with me. This is cylinder number 1. And my main worry was, you know, these were full of oil, right? If the spark plug diode is covered in oil as well, that means that oil is sneaking past the piston rings. But these are good. Cylinder number 1, diode is completely dry, no signs of anything. And it actually doesn't look to be running rich or lean. Like, it's almost that perfect gold color. Cylinder number 2 is much of the same, a little bit leaner, but that's because this was literally up to about here in oil, so it just was not firing. And then these other 2 were pretty much dry, so I'm not really worried about those. So that guarantees that our spark plug seals are gone bad and not the piston rings. So we're fucking golden. Otherwise, deleted the charcoal canister. It's very easy. There's 2 10mm bolts just on a bracket there. This guy, you just gotta kind of pull it and just convince it like you're trying to convince your wife to have sex with you. And this stuff I just kind of routed back out to the atmosphere. Now, this vacuum hose runs to that charcoal canister. Well, I just reconnected it back onto this check valve here. I'm not even sure if that's correct. I'm gonna have to look at some diagrams, but that's where I have it for right now. That's kind of where everything is at. Just wanted to do a quick update. Otherwise, just gotta like take a look around and see if there's any other vacuum lines that are bad.
Bro,
I mean,
you gotta replace these hoses.
Oh God. Holy shit. Yeah, that's like not even vacuuming, bro.
Those are flaps now.
Oh my God, and it's just like leaving flakes on my, yeah, dude, that's, okay, so that's probably the last vacuum line that needs to be replaced.
Put some lotion on that, bro.
Yeah, she needs a little lubrication. Fuck. But yeah, guys, I mean, it's pretty solid. I think after these last few little repairs, this thing is gonna be running very, very well, and I'm excited. So I did replace that vacuum line. I had taken one from a Z3, it just happens to fit very well, so we'll run that. The one right below it, this guy here, it's a little crusty as well, but it's not as bad, not nearly as bad, so we'll keep that for now. What else? You got the whole, I mean, the whole squid underneath the intake is replaced. Like, I found out that's what it's called. It's called a squid.
Ooh.
It's like this fucking 4-way vacuum tree thing that goes to each of the injectors. So when taking out these spark plugs, I wasn't really thinking, and I got oil inside on top of the cylinders. You're not really probably gonna be able to see this very well. You can see that that cylinder is a little wet. So what I did is just sprayed brake clean down all these holes. And I'm gonna put a towel in here now, kind of just wipe up some of it. And then the brake clean that's on the pistons right now, that's sitting on top, it should just burn right off when I go to do any kind of a test. So, I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do. I wish I had some junk spark plugs. I mean, these are NGKs, which aren't exactly the best quality. I've been hearing a lot about NGK kind of going down the shitter lately. Maybe that's false. Bro, that little rattling sound, I think I found the cause of it. The cap that's on this, it's hella loose. And I think that might just be, you know, when it gets vibrated, it just fucking, it makes that little clicky noise. Because this thing's too low mileage to be having like fucked up rod bearing or something. So I think that's it. Okay, well, I've driven it for approximately 4 miles. Intermittent check engine light. Still lacking on power a little bit. I really think it's all this intake boot. I think the intake boot is the only thing that's killing it right now. It's driving way better than it was. Without a proper intake boot, it's gonna be pretty tough to tell exactly what my issue is. Probably also help to have a fucking, you know, an air filter on there. But certainly making progress. I just need the fucking intake boot and the whole adapter thing to come in so that I can run all that. But I mean, overall, let's see. Yep. So we know that the AFM is definitely working. I mean, it starts right up. It starts right up. All cylinders are firing. Okay, so valve cover gasket and spark plug seals have been replaced. We got this check engine light back on, and I have a feeling it is for the intake boot that's from an M44. I identified multiple cracks within said intake boot, so I knew that there was a chance of this having problems, and I think it is. Now, in regards to everything else, let's grab that's got spark. That's got spark. Yep, that's got spark. We'll do a quick sparkle check. Yep. Okay, so they all have spark. They're all getting spark. They're all getting fuel. I really think it's this fucking intake boot that's really killing me right now. Along with this fuck-ass exhaust system, it's the original exhaust system, and I think it might be some clogged cat action. But what I'm gonna do is turn this off and then check the codes again. Okay. Go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 2, 5. End codes. Okay. So it's throwing a code 1225, which is knock sensor number 1. If you can tell, that is cracked. So that could be part of the problem. We may need to get a new knock sensor. Looks like it may have been over torqued. I did go ahead and just hold the negative terminal. Gonna clear codes. Let this thing just sit for a little bit, think about its actions, and then continue. I will say I have no air filter on this thing. Really should not be driving it like this, but yeah, I don't really have much of a choice until I have the fucking correct intake. And that's the other problem. This intake boot is cracked, which we have been aware of. So it's really tough to do anything until I have, you know, the proper items installed. It's a new day. Leave that unplugged for a sec. Let's get this fucking air filter taped back on. Just to protect the motor at least a little bit, you know. I'm just curious if it's gonna take a long crank or not. Yep. So strange. No throttle at all. I truly think that the intake boot is causing problems for me. Maybe shitty injectors too. If I give this thing some gas, it'll run no problem. A little bit of throttle application. But it's like hesitant. No check engine light though. Let's check stomp codes, eh? One, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so still knock sensor number 2. Okay, so I have the fuel pump jumped right now. It is pumping. Start this thing up real quick. definitely smells, I don't know if it smells rich or if my nose is deceiving me. I did just hear it knocking though. Of course, it's not knocking anymore. Let's get this out of the way. I did delete the charcoal canister. This hose goes to the throttle body, just like the same way it was set up. I just have everything venting to the atmosphere. Oh. Okay. So we do have a knock now, but that doesn't sound like it's in the engine. It sounds like the knock sensor itself. So fuck, maybe I do have to replace the knock sensor. But no check engine light. We were back with the compact. I stole the intake boot and just AFM, everything that I know works from Ruby 1. So what I'm gonna do now is replace the spark plugs. I'll get some freshies in there. It's great seeing no oil down there, I'll tell you what. Looks like we got a little bit of some kind of like condensation or something, dude. But the spark plug seals aren't leaking. I might swap these plug wires too. That's definitely good. I know 3 and 4 were like fucking perfect. It's number 2 really that bothers me. Fuck, man, I don't know. Swap out these spark plugs and we'll go from there. So yeah, these NGK plugs, they came gapped at about 35 thousandths and they need to be about 28 to 30 thousandths. So it's very important to always check your gap. They've all been installed. We got the correct intake boot. Everything's together there. There was a little check valve here that ran from this intake hose down to whatever that canister is, right down there. What I did is I deleted it, bypassed it, so just going straight back to the canister. I'm just curious what that's gonna do. I don't really know, but we're gonna find out here shortly. Tried running it. Still throwing code for the knock sensor. So that's gonna need to be replaced. You see, like I said before, that thing is visibly cracked and it's probably corroded. We know the plugs are good. There's like just a little bit of bullshit down there that I couldn't clean out, but it's fine. So we don't have to fuck around with the plugs anymore. That's known to be fine. I'm gonna need to replace that knock sensor. That's gonna be the next thing. Well, it's been a few months. I actually have this compact in upstate New York now. I moved back to New York and the car runs and drives almost perfectly now. It literally runs so well. put about 3,000 miles on this car since the last time I've recorded the video. Thing runs very, very well. Show you guys what I did. So the main issue was that knock sensor, which I had to replace. I did new spark plugs, spark plug cover seals and valve cover gasket all needed to be replaced. The number 2 knock sensor is actually still occasionally throwing codes for me, so that is something that needs to be finished. Also ended up going with an aftermarket intake system. I like this setup a little bit more. It's more simplistic. As you can see, I took the AFM apart to mess with that. Ended up being fine. It wasn't my problem. My main issues were basically all centered around the knock sensors. So after replacing those, this thing runs really, really well, and I'm very happy. Unfortunately, somebody rear-ended me. Thankfully, no major damage. I'll be able to fix this without a problem. Now, when I was hit, the motor mounts failed. It needs motor mounts. I'll be doing that soon. But until then, this thing's running real nice. I actually picked up a couple more E36s in the last couple of weeks as well, so lots of interesting things coming with these cars. But the daily is in good working order. So after messing around with the entire system a whole bunch, we got this car running really smooth. I've become a bit of an M42 expert after dealing with this car, so I hope that this video helps somebody out. If you guys have any questions at all, reach out to me on Instagram at panics.auto. I'm super active on there and can answer any questions you might have. So, ciao.